Buenos días. Welcome. This is lesson 3. Lesson 3. If you haven't, I invite you to check on lesson 1 and 2. This is lesson 3 of Spanish. Glad to have you with us today. So in this video, we are going to discuss pronouns. You're going to learn how to say where you are from, de dónde eres. You're going to deal with the verb to be, which is ser en español, ser. You're going to look at jumbled sentences and try to rewrite them. So, pronouns. You have yo, which is of course I, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, feminine form, nosotras, ustedes, and ellos. Now notice that I have él, ella, and usted together in a group because the conjugation for these three are always going to be the same. And here we have nosotros and nosotras. Looks very similar except for the o and the a. One is masculine, o, masculine, and one is feminine. In Spanish, we have words that are masculine and words that are feminine. O is usually masculine. If a word ends in O, it's usually a masculine word, considered a masculine word. And if it ends in A, it's usually almost 99.9% of the time, it's usually a feminine word, considered a feminine word. Now for ellos, there's also ellas. So this is the masculine. So we have ellos and we have ellas also. So let's keep that in mind. Now, consider what you had previous and let's try to substitute. If you have to go back, you should have written your notes, the pronouns. And now, so we can substitute. So, or basically translate, right? If you have we as in a, right? You have a in a, we. What would you substitute that for in Spanish or translate that to, right? So for a, you should have nosotros. No gender is expressed, so it's nosotros, right? Unisex or masculine. Now, if I would have said we feminine, then you would have said nosotras, right? B is you. What is you in Spanish? It is tú. Tú. Always has a tilde on the U. Tú. Se is ella. She. Ella. De is he and I. Well, if you're including yourself, he and I, she and I, you're including yourself, so it has to be nosotros. It has to be we, right? When you include yourself, it's nosotros. Again, masculine or feminine is not expressed. In A, you have they, which should be ellos. Ellos. F is, you could say, well, Pablo is a boy's name, so you would have to say he, right? He, él, right? Now in he, you have Pablo y él. Pablo y él. Pablo and he. Pablo and he. So if you want to say Pablo and he, you should say in Spanish, ellos, they, right? You're not including yourself. So it's not nosotros. It is ellos, they. And in he, you have two people, Maria y Rosa. Maria y Rosa. And you should substitute that for ellas. These are girls. So you have to use the feminine form of they, which is ellas. Very good. Now let's look at the verb ser, which is to be. One of the most popular verbs in Spanish and in English as well. And you need this verb to answer the question, ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? When you respond, you have to use the verb ser. Now, how do you conjugate the verb ser? Well, you have it here, the conjugations in yellow, together with the pronouns, okay, in yellow. So in English, it would be I am, you are, they are, we are, right? The conjugation in Spanish is as follows. Yo soy, yo soy, tú eres, tú eres. And remember, usted, él, and ella are the same conjugation. So it's usted es, ella es, o él es, ella es, right? It's the same. Usted es, él es, ella es. Nosotros or nosotras somos. We. Nosotros somos. The plural. The plural form. So it's you all, they, masculine or feminine. Ustedes son. Ustedes son. Ellos son. Ellas son. Right? The verb to be, the verb ser, needed to answer the question, ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? So let's now test ourselves. Let's see. These are the conjugation of the verb ser. And we're going to complete these sentences. So it's yo soy, tú eres, usted, él, ella es, nosotros somos, ellos son. Right? So it's I, you, the singular, usted, él, ella, we, nosotros somos, and the plural, they, son. Now, here we have número uno. Irene blank de Cuba. Irene blank de Cuba. Right? Remember, that's Irene. Let's review a little bit now. Irene is one person, right? Irene is a girl's name. Número dos, Juan y María de Perú. Juan y María de Perú. Juan y María, two people, boy and a girl. That's the subject, and of course the verb is always conjugated with the subject of the sentence. Número tres, yo blank de Argentina. Yo blank de Argentina. Número cuatro, Luisa y yo. Luisa y yo blank de California. Notice you are including yourself here. Luisa y yo, her and I. You are including yourself. Cinco, ellas blank de Texas. Ellas, right? Let's see. What we should have is Irene, one person. She, singular. Irene es de Cuba. She is. Irene es de Cuba. Remember the singular, like usted, él, and ella, right? She. Irene es de Cuba, right? So the singular is right here. This is usted, él, and ella right here. So let's remember. That's yo, tú, usted, él, ella, nosotros, we, and plural, ellos, they. Continuamos. Número dos, you should have had María, Juan y María son de Perú. Son de Perú, because you would have to say they. It's two people, and you're not including yourself. So it's they, like in ellos, right? Ellos son. Ellos son. Tres, yo soy de Argentina. Yo soy de Argentina. Cuatro, Luisa y yo, including yourself. Luisa y yo somos de California. Somos de California. Cinco, ellas, plural, they, females, ellas son de Texas. Son de Texas. Let's continue. Let's do five more. Número 6. Tú, blank de México. Tú, blank de México. 7. Nosotros, blank de Guatemala. 8. Usted, blank de la República Dominicana. Usted, blank de la República Dominicana. 9. Tú y yo. Tú y yo, blank de Puerto Rico. 10. Él es de los Estados Unidos. If you need to pause the video to find the answer, or you're not sure, you need some more time, please stop the video at this time. Okay, let's review número 6. It's tú eres de México. Tú eres de México. 7. Nosotros somos de Guatemala. Nosotros somos de Guatemala. 8. Usted. Remember that usted is you. It's singular. It's one person. Like usted, él, ella. So, número 8. Usted es de la República Dominicana. Usted es de la República Dominicana. 9. Tú y yo, including yourself. You are including yourself. It must be like in we. So, tú y yo somos de Puerto Rico. Tú y yo somos de Puerto Rico. Número 10. Él, simple, he, él. Él es de los Estados Unidos. Los Estados Unidos. I know you did well in this. Okay. Let's rewrite the sentence using the words in the parentheses. Rewrite the sentences with the word in the parentheses. This exercise, this little quiz or test, is a little more difficult. So notice, in the parentheses, in número 1, you have Paco y Luis. Paco y Luis, right? Two people. So you need to now substitute and include Paco y Luis instead of who? Instead of Carmen es de Costa Rica. Carmen es de Costa Rica. Now, Carmen is a singular name, and so the conjugation of the verb has to be she, right? She, Carmen es. Carmen es. Now, when you substitute and include Paco y Luis, that conjugation is going to change because now, instead of one person, now it is Paco and Luis, which is two people. So that conjugation will change, right? Keep that in mind. So, what should you have for número uno? Beginning the sentence with Paco y Luis. And the conjugation of the verb should be Paco y Luis son, they, son de Costa Rica. That would be the correct conjugation. With the subject Paco y Luis. Vamos a ver número dos. Ellos son de Texas. Now you're going to substitute with yo. And your sentence should begin with yo. So it's número dos should be yo soy de Texas. I am from Texas. Right? Yo soy de Texas. Número tres, José es de Chile. Well, número tres, you have to substitute now. It's ustedes, right? So it's ustedes, plural, they, ustedes, or you all, actually. It should be you all. Tres, ustedes son de Chile. Son de Chile. Not the food, the country. Chile is a country. Número cuatro, ellos son de Venezuela. And the substitution is tú. Número cuatro, tú eres de Venezuela. Tú eres de Venezuela. You should have took notes in the conjugation of the verb so you can complete these exercises because it's difficult to go back and forth. And that's why I say you need a notebook. Remind you that you need a notebook to write down the conjugation and things in some vocabulary. Número cinco. Número cinco is a question. ¿Quién es la chica de Colombia? ¿Quién es la chica de Colombia? And now, so what are we going to substitute here? It's el profesor, but what is the subject of número cinco? The subject is la chica, the girl, right? So the girl here and the professor here. We're going to substitute these two. So now we're going to say en número cinco here, ¿quién es, right? El profesor de Colombia. ¿Quién es el profesor de Colombia? Hopefully you did well. Hopefully you did well on this. Now, let's look at these 5 sentences. And I want you, this is another test, another quiz to see if we're learning, right? See if we're learning. It's the way to check ourselves, see if we're learning. Can we choose the correct answer? Can we choose the correct answer? So if someone says, or sometimes asks, these are all questions. Someone asks, ¿Eres tú de Nueva York? ¿Eres tú de Nueva York? By the way, they should have a tilde. You should have a tilde right here, an accent. I missed that. ¿Eres tú de Nueva York? Are you from, right? ¿Eres tú de Nueva York? Okay, you're going to have to find a correct answer. So let's see. Let's read first these 5 questions. So, A, ¿eres tú de Nueva York? B, ¿quién es la chica nueva? ¿Quién es la chica nueva? C, ¿de dónde eres tú? ¿De dónde eres tú? D, ¿cómo se llama el chico de Perú? ¿Cómo se llama el chico de Perú? E, ¿quién es de Argentina? ¿Quién es de Argentina? Now let's choose the correct answers. So, A, ¿eres tú de Nueva York? Which answer would you choose? 1 through 5. ¿Eres tú de Nueva York? Well, of course, the Nueva York is the giveaway, right? So you should have had cuatro for A. For A, it should be cuatro. ¿Eres tú de Nueva York? Sí, soy de Nueva York. Sí, soy de Nueva York. B. ¿Quién es la chica nueva? ¿Quién es la chica nueva? And you should have had 5. Ella es Emilia. Ella es Emilia. C. ¿De dónde eres tú? ¿De dónde eres tú? 2. C es 2. Yo soy de Carolina del Norte. Yo soy de Carolina del Norte. D. ¿Cómo se llama el chico de Perú? What's his name? ¿Cómo se llama el chico de Perú? 1. D es 1. El chico de Perú es Jaime. El chico de Perú es Jaime. El último. ¿Quién es de Argentina? ¿Quién es de Argentina? María es de Argentina. Número 3. María es de Argentina. You should have had número 3. Muy bien. So thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you on the next lesson. Adios. Don't forget to join us in class for our next lesson. Adios.